Open my heart to what you know, so I can stretch, so I can grow. My feelings toss me to and fro. Open my heart to what you know. Open my eyes to what you see, to understand what I should be. My feelings get the best of me. Open my eyes to what you see. Open my heart to what you know, so I can stretch, so I can grow. My feelings toss me to and fro. Open my heart to what you know. Good morning. It's Friday morning. Hope you've had a great week this week. Hope you've been blessed. Hope you've been uplifted in some way and encouraged in many ways as well. Good to be with you again this morning. I'm going to share a story with you as we get started. A lady by the name of Marjorie Talcott was married, and she had one child, and they lived during the Great Depression. The family managed to scrape their way through, but as Christmas approached one year, Marjorie and her husband were disappointed that they would not be able to buy any presents this year for Christmas. And so a week before Christmas, they explained to their 6-year-old son, Pete, that there would be no store-bought Christmas presents this year. But I'll tell you what we can do, said Pete's father. He said, we can make pictures of the presents we'd like to give to each other. And that was a busy week. Marjorie and her husband set to work. Christmas Day arrived, and the family rose to find their skimpy little Christmas tree was made magnificent by all of the picture presents they had adorned it with. And there was luxury beyond imagination in those pictures. A black limousine and red speedboat for Dad, a diamond bracelet and fur coat for Mom, a camping tent and a swimming pool for Pete, all adorning their little Christmas tree. And then Pete pulled out his present. It was a crayon drawing of a man, a woman, and a child with their arms around each other just laughing. And under the picture was just one word, and the word was us. Years later, Marjorie writes that it was the richest, most satisfying Christmas they'd ever had. It took a presentless Christmas to remind Marjorie and her family that that the greatest gift that we can ever offer is ourselves, our presence. This, too, is the great gift that Christ offers us, not only at Christmas, but throughout the entire year, himself. If he was to draw a gift, perhaps it would be just like Pete's. 3 people with their arms around each other laughing, human community with Christ at the center of it. Jesus knew a thing or two about gifting and about purpose. In John 1, chapter 1, we find Jesus in Galilee. Nathanael is walking toward him, and Jesus calls out, telling all within hearing distance that Nathanael is a good man. How do you know me? Nathanael asked. And Jesus answered, I saw you while you were still under the fig tree before Philip called you. Long before they met in person, Jesus knew all about Nathanael. He knew of his character. He knew his giftings. He knew this man had a purpose. And it's kind of an incredible thing to think about, that Jesus, he knows us. And maybe sometimes you can point out other people's gifts, but maybe you're not too sure about your own. Maybe you don't always recognize them, or maybe they just seem like ordinary gifts. Maybe it seems to you like nothing super special. But I want to tell you that Jesus recognizes them because God put them inside of you, because God gave you those gifts, no matter what they are. Whether they seem great and monumental or ordinary, God gave you those gifts for you. Nathanael, who was also known as Bartholomew, went on to become a disciple and friend of Jesus. He traveled across India and Armenia and Ethiopia and southern Arabia, and he shared the gospel, and he drew many people to Jesus Christ. when he encountered Jesus, he stood under a tree minding his own business. And as he trusted Jesus, and he trusted that Jesus knew him inside and out, it simply changed the direction of his life. And so the question for us this morning is, what gifts are inside of you? What gifts do you have that God gave you for you to be good at and for you to use? They may seem ordinary, but not to your Creator, not to God, because he made them. And so they're very special. He sees your gift of hospitality. He sees your gift of compassion. He sees your gift or hears your gift of music. He sees your gift and delights with you, those of you who are good with kids or are good at teaching or good at dreaming and planning. He delights with those of you who have the gift of leadership, the natural ability to lead other people. All of those are gifts that God gave to you. He sees those gifts, but he also, we play, Jesus sees those gifts, but we also play a part in what we do with those gifts. And so we need to challenge ourselves today to, number one, to acknowledge our gifts, even if they're in the beginning stages, even if you're still just kind of understanding or identifying what they are. You need to acknowledge those gifts and that those are gifts that God gave you in a special way. And then you need to hone your gifts, to get good at your gifts. Even if there's a learning curve involved there, get good at your gifts. Practice your gifts that God gave you. And then start praying and asking God to help you use your gifts to draw others to Jesus, to the same Jesus that sees and knows your gifts and loves you as his own, and you can use your gifts to pass that same love of Jesus on to other people. And so ask God to help you as you hone your gifts and practice your gifts and get good at your gifts. Ask him to give you opportunity to use those gifts to tell somebody about Jesus. 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 10 says, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. Each of you should use whatever gift you have to serve others and to be faithful to God. See, God sees you right where you are. He knows you, and he delights in the gifts that are unique to you. And so hold your gifts up to him today. Trust that he'll use them in ways that maybe you don't even comprehend yet or not even sure where it'll take you. Just lift those gifts up and ask God to help you use them in a way to serve him and to be faithful to him. I hope this is encouraging to you, and I hope it encourages you to really reflect on the gifts that God gave you and how you're going to begin to use them to serve him and to serve others. Love you so much. Look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Hope you have a great weekend, and until next time, have a blessed day.